So we have been making a lot of progress in building our application. And we can actually say already that the core functionality of the app is in fact already working. So now let's take a breath and think a little bit about our next step in this short lecture. So again, the core functionality is what we see here in this flowchart. And so that is basically the search functionality, then also displaying the pagination, and then displaying any recipe that was selected. And so that we already have working at this point. And so that is really great progress. But now let's take it to the next level and think a little bit about how we will implement our next features here. So based on the user stories that we outlined in the beginning of this project, our next feature was a functionality for changing the servings of the displayed recipe. And that's going to be quite easy. All we will have to do is to listen and to handle events on the change servings buttons, and then basically update the recipe and render it again. Then the next feature is the bookmarking functionality. And this is going to be yet another one that will be a little bit complex to implement. So let's see what we have here. So starting with the event here more on the left side, whenever the user bookmarks a certain recipe, then we want to render that bookmarks in the special bookmarks panel, and we also want to update the button in the recipe. And so basically we will then re-render the recipe. Now then, whenever the user clicks one of the bookmarks, and so that's the other event down there, then we want to render exactly that recipe that was clicked. Okay, so here we will need two events, and by the time we reach this functionality, we will of course see in more detail how it's going to work. Then next up, we want to be able to store this personalized bookmark data in the browser and also read it back when the page is loaded for the next time. And so that's exactly what is here on this diagram. So whenever there is a new bookmark, we basically store all the bookmarks to local storage, and then when the page loads, then we load all the bookmarks back from the local storage and render them. All right? And so that's actually it. So this is what we will do over the next couple of lectures. And once we're done with that, the application will actually almost be finished. Okay, so that is our plan for the next couple of lectures. And so let's now go back to code and implement the functionality of changing the servings right in the next lecture.